with Lady Charmaine on 97.5 KDEE.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
You're just a talking.
I'm just a talking. You're inside the Girls Club with Jay King Station Mob and LaTroya Johnson. And right now, we are actually switching gears. So if you want to chime in on the conversation, you can give us a call at 916-921-5333. We're talking about that brand new trend of Facebook shaming. You see parents cutting kids' hair off on Facebook, jamming them up, beating them with belts all out in the street. Do you think that new way of discipline, I don't know what you call it, of discipline, do you think that's going to help change a child's behavior?
I think that's a personal, I don't think most parents are doing anything to hurt their children. Mm-hmm. They love their children. Mm-hmm. So they do what they think is going to have the most effect with the child. Mm-hmm. That's what I think. Okay. Now, would I get on Facebook and do that to my daughter? No, I'm an old-fashioned dude. Mm-hmm. So. And
what's that?
It's something about being a daddy, mm-hmm. and the thing that a daddy got, mm-hmm. that whole thing.
I want to know what that thing is.
It changes everything. Right. It's just something. It's something about. It's a
thing. Got that thing. He's right. I'll put some things on him. Yeah. I still want you to explain that thing. What you think, Stacia?
I think the Facebook and Instagram shaming, with the way that videos go viral these days, mm-hmm. I think that it could be sending the wrong message because it is borderline bullying to me. Now, I don't have any kids yet, but I think back to when I was, a child and going through some of my, rebellious stages or whatever. And I do remember a very specific time. I was in 7th or 8th grade because I had this teacher both years. Mm-hmm. Her name was Miss Stroud. Shout out to Miss Stroud. Sorry. But I was cutting up in her class and I knew better. My mom's a teacher. Like, I know how to act, but just being a class clown or whatever. And Miss Stroud ends up, calling my parents and I got in trouble, yada, yada, yada. My dad got a hold of the information and he was not having it, particularly because him and Miss Stroud used to work together way back in the day. So it was just kind of like, embarrassing me and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, my dad ended up making me use my own allowance money to buy her a gift from, the mall or whatever. As an apology. I had to write her an apology letter and then read the letter and present the gift in front of the class.
How sweet.
I was so embarrassed. Like, no, I'm not doing that. And my dad was like, oh, you doing it. And I never cut up again. Wow. So sometimes it may take public embarrassment or humiliation, but that was also before social media. Right. So
and because now it gets a little bigger, it's a little and it's a little deeper. It's a little deeper. So
because all kids don't respond to a belt. All children don't respond to punishment or taking away a car or for me, all you had to do was take away the car key. I was like, oh my gosh, like I just thought my whole life was just gonna melt. But there are some parents to where you might have to take it to the extreme. But I do know there's this one video out to where this father is like boxing his son and he got all bloody and stuff, and the dad ended up getting arrested for that. So you just have to think about those long-term situations. You're putting it out there to the public and you have to deal with the consequences.
You heard about the little girl, I guess her father, I think he cut her hair and put it on Facebook, and then she ended up committing suicide.
No.
Real serious situation. Troy, what do you think about Facebook shaming?
Lord, I think about to have this baby of my own, and discipline and all that stuff that comes with it, man. I think you just have to meet your children where they are. Like you guys said, every child is different. Some children my mom had to just look at me and I knew, what time it was, and it's discipline is just different. You have to find out what your child appreciates and loves and values, and then take it from there. If talking doesn't work, then you take that next step. If that doesn't work, then you do what works best for you disciplining your child. But I think this trending thing where putting your child on display and doing everything that's gonna be around forever is not cool. Yeah. Like this isn't just a temporary thing. This is something that they have to deal with now for literally forever. You can go years back and pull up something that was posted on YouTube or on Facebook. So I just think that's not cool, because then the punishment isn't just for that one particular time. It's something they forever have to live with. Something could happen their freshman year and you put it on there, and then their senior year people are still looking it up, making fun of them.
And sometimes parents they try to, because I was on Dr. Phil with my child.
Right?
Yeah. Because that girl was doing the most. She was doing the most to cut up. You know what I mean? So sometimes as parents, you would even take drastic measures, go as far as you can to really help to save that child, for them to be able to see. So you don't kill that child. You be like, Lord help me. So you trying everything you possibly can to really get through to that child. Hi, 97.5.
Yeah, I believe that people should be putting their children on Facebook as a discipline.
You do?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I think it's terrible that they would make that poor choice as to want the world to see how they really punish their child. I believe in corporal punishment, but it's to an extent.
Yeah, I agree.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Sandra, and I'm calling from Sacramento.
Thank you so much, Sandra, for calling in.
And I like what you said. You meet your child where they're at. My daughter, all I have to do is say, I'm really disappointed in you. And the fact that I'm disappointed in her is crushing. My sons, every now and then I had to put I put the daddy choke on my son, on Jay.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, and so I put the daddy choke on him the one time when he was 16, and he called his mom, and and she said, and so he put me on the phone with her, and she said, what happened? I said, he think he can whoop me. So and she was like, oh, okay, hold on. She put him back on the phone. I think she said something to the effect that you live with your dad, and if your dad is choking you, it's probably for a good reason. And so you have to be in concert. The parents have to be in concert with it. And my son's 16. I did it. At 24, he was still mad at me. And one day, I said, hey, listen, man, I choked you because at the time it was the only thing I knew to do to get control of you. But I didn't choke you because I hated you. I choked you because I loved you. Because I'm choking you to save you. White man choke you, he trying to kill you. And it was just that one conversation just turned everything around. And from that day forward, he and I were just tight as glue.
And that's why it's so important to make sure that you have that understanding with your children. It's not just about discipline. I know for me growing up, if you aren't present in my life, if you're not being a mother or a father at certain points that are important, or if they're my accomplishments but only there to discipline me, then it doesn't feel like love. Then it feels like, because kids are going to make mistakes. That's how they learn. That's how they grow. We've all made mistakes, but I think making sure that they're aware that I'm doing this because I love you, and even if you don't see it now, you will. Even if they're mad, they still have to go back and think of it. They're now at 20, about to be 28 years old, I still come to my mom and be like, I know what you meant. I'm sorry. Even I'm still experiencing things that I got in trouble for when I was growing up that I'm like, wow, now I understand why this was so important. And look how long it took. So I don't know. I just think as long as you guys are expressing, that people are expressing why they are disciplling their children.
And it ain't never late. It ain't never too late. It's continual. It's continual.
Absolutely.
That's good. Hold on a moment. Hi, 97.5. We just missed them. And Jay, you said something. Cause see, I remember when I was 17. I know my mom was listening, and I stayed out late, and I'm thinking she, sleep at home, and because she was a very hard sleeper, but this particular night she wasn't. So I get home and I was so sleepy. I actually fell asleep on the freeway and hit a car. And then the car had chased me through the city of Richmond and turned off my lights. And I was able to ditch the car. And I was on a flat tire. But anyway, to make a long story short, I get home. I think it was about a good 4 in the morning. And I called myself creeping in. I didn't know that my mom was in the family room watching TV with her feet up on the coffee table waiting for me to come home.
Singing hell to the no. To the no.
And I've seen my mama, I've seen her get upset, but this particular time she didn't yell. It was something different about her demeanor when I came in. So she just looked at me, but there was a look in her eyes, and I've never seen it again. I've only seen it this one time. And I came and she told me to sit down, and I sat on the couch, but it was just something. She just got up, and I never forget, she just walked over to me real slow. I never forget, she bent down and she put both of her hands around my neck. And she picked me up, and I was in the air. it wasn't her that did it. Because I know my mom, it was something that came over her. And I was in the air, and I never forget, she let her hands go, and I just dropped and fell back down on the couch. Now, if you know my mom, she's a very nice lady, but I knew she was relieved when she saw me come in the house. And then, you know, when you're relieved, and then you want to kill the kid.
Yep.
So it was one, I could tell she was in between killing me and being relieved.
She hadn't seen that car with the flat tire yet.
Wait a minute. And it was so funny. I ended up, this story, that's another story. Let me tell you what happened with that one. Real quick. Now, I call myself, no, coming home again, no. Coming through. This is that story. And I'm in the city of Richmond, and I hit and I'm trying to beat my mama home because she worked that night, right? So I'm like, she ain't at home. And I hit the car, and I'm in a rough side of town in Richmond, and dang, I'm just riding on the rim, and there was a car. Now it's 2:00 in the morning. There was a car in back of me, y'all, and all of a sudden I heard somebody say, "Charmaine." It was my mom. Oh. One of her coworkers asked her to take her home that lived in that community. Wow. Now, I was scared, but I was relieved because I didn't know how I was going to get home. I was in the rough side, and I didn't want to get out my car. So, to God be the glory. I thank God for my mama, though. I could laugh at the story now, but yeah, I had one of those choking moments, you know, and I'm here to tell it. And I didn't try that. That was the last time I tried anything.
Yep. It only takes one.
That's right. I just did one daddy choke. You know?
My mama didn't want mama choke. You know,
and my son John saw his brother get the daddy choke. He don't want no part of the daddy choke. He's like,
I'm good, Dad. We straight around here.
That's how it works. Yeah, usually it works that way. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for we got to call her. One moment. Hi, 97.5.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Khadijah, and I'm calling from Sacramento.
Hi, Khadijah.
Hi, I love you guys' show.
Thank you.
I love your topics. They're very relevant.
Thank you.
I'm a mother of two teenagers, a 15-year-old and a 19-year-old, and I am a huge proponent of natural consequences. When they get a certain age, you don't have to embarrass them. They will do it all by themselves.
Okay.
And you just kind of let the chips fall where they may, you know. I guide them, I give them advice, I direct them, but what I don't do is put their business out in the street, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, or anything. So, and my kids may even love it. They may start singing or tap dancing or something, okay? But we keep private things, we keep it private. And that's okay.
Yeah, and see, I can't get to the shaming thing because, like both of the ladies said, you know, this ain't just something that, you know, that's between you and the family or between, you know, this little circle. Now it gets wide. Now it goes viral.
It's
and now,
worldwide.
and now you got a kid who can't handle it because the situation just grew from just a private moment or a shaming moment to a total embarrassment where I feel worthless and useless. I feel horrible, and now I'm killing myself because it's a heavy emotion.
Right.
You know, and for when young people start dealing with emotions, I mean, you know, and you guys as women know when you're growing into your adolescence. As a young boy growing into my adolescence, just all those hormones and stuff already going crazy, and you already have all these other insecurities going on. Now you stack this thing on top of those insecurities.
Right.
You know, now I'm spiraling out of control.
That's true.
And I don't feel like I'm even worthy to be here.
Well, Carl, I want to thank you so much for calling in. Oh, go ahead.
You're welcome. What I also wanted to say was that the shaming is not just on the child side of things. As a parent, reflecting back, there are a lot of mistakes that I made as a parent personally that I probably wouldn't do now. So even to catch that on film or catch that on camera, like as a parent, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that shame on myself, let alone my child. So it's very wise to be careful about when and where and how you discipline your child.
Right. Thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, that was really good. But I want to thank all of you for joining me on the show today. Thank you, Jay. Made it into the Girls Club.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I got to have you back.
And I got to say, the ladies are really very smart.
Well, I have intelligence. I appreciate
very smart and very mature young women.
And Stacia's a teacher. And so thank you so much, Stacia Miles, for joining me on the show.
Thank you for having me.
My girl, LaTroya, I just love their point of views. They keep me young. They keep me fresh. And so I appreciate you all. And thank you to all the callers that called in today. You're a valuable part of the Lady Charmaine live show because I love the feedback that you all give. And we'll be doing this the same time next week. Also, catch me on Friday on the Tristan May Show with Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine and Tristan Tristan Mays. And be sure to follow me on Facebook at Lady Charmaine. Have a great day. And on tomorrow, we're going to be catching Jay King, right? Traffic Jam.
3 to 7.
3 to 7, right here on 97.5 KDEE.
Hazelwood Home College Prep is Fortune School's 6th tuition-free public charter school located in South Natomas at 3750 Rosin Court, right off North.
You're watching a Rich Girl Dreams production.